I'm just like so feeling what you're saying around this gaslighting of this was the past. Racism is behind us. And like whiteness, white culture, dominant culture wants us to believe that. And I had a conversation with a mentor yesterday that was like, if I'm a white body, if I'm a person who is white, then I have to think that way. Otherwise, how do I live with myself? And like the guilt, the trauma that they have inherent in them from their generations of however they contributed to the dominant class. Not saying everybody's related to a slave owner, but like however they contributed and were complicit or, you know, whatever. Yeah, it has to be in the past. It has to live. That has to be the narrative to say it's behind us or say it never happened, it didn't exist, or we're exaggerating or whatever, because dealing with the reality and the truth of like the past and today is crushing.
It is crushing. I mean, and it was crushing for me as a racialized black man to recognize the level of racism that I was actually facing and the toxicity in our racial environment that I was going to have to face in the future. That wasn't easy either, you know, but, you know, of course, on my end, it's directly tied to my survival and my success. So, you know, we are kind of forced down that road, you know, just to be able to exist in the country that we live in. But on racialized white people's end, yes, it's much more complicated for them because they are not only trained and encouraged from a young age to deny the impact of racism, to not talk about race or racism, to believe it can't have the impact that people of color talk about and whatnot. But if they do manage to gain some insight into that, they don't really have a lot of allies either. If they do choose to embrace anti-racism, a lot of racialized black people will look down on that, actually, will not embrace them as someone who could be an ally. And definitely the system of white supremacy is not going to embrace their choice either. So it's very, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place as well. Although I would say that they have a little more freedom to choose in some ways. Like